Welcome to the second segment of the show where we look at the match between Dortmund and PSG coming off this Tuesday at the Parc des Princes in Paris. The first leg actually saw a very fantastic performance from Dortmund in that they were able to win 1-0 and that gives them a huge advantage going into the second leg. Joining me here in the studio, I have Bruno, who will help us do the analysis and also take a preview of the second leg, which comes off later this week. So without much ado, let me welcome my guest and then we jump right into us. And Charlie, you're welcome.
Thank you, my boss.
Right. So delving right into the fixture. I mean, before this fixture, we actually mentioned that this is a fixture of battle of who wants it more. And at the end of the day, whoever tests for the trophy the more is the one who is going to come up on top in this fixture. And that was exactly what we saw, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. That was exactly what you saw. Because you realize it was like Dortmund wants it the most.
Okay.
Because it was very intense game. You realize Dortmund, they were attacking, defending. No, the players were all over the pitch. And you saw the determination too in the boys.
Yeah.
Unlike PSG, that's, some kind of lackadaisical, behavior of the players.
Yeah.
You saw Mbappe not, putting in much. We all know how Mbappe, plays. We all know how he can take on players. He can score goals from tight angles. But it was like he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
So we didn't see much of him in that match. So that was what caused PSG in the first leg.
So Dortmund having the advantage here, and like we mentioned, you saw the desperation and the hunger in Dortmund's approach to the game. They were just running up and down the pitch throughout the game, and you can tell that yes, indeed, they want to lift the UCL trophy again. This season, we are looking at a probable final that we've had before. If Dortmund or PSG should actually progress to meet Bayern Munich in the other side to at Wembley, that will be a repeat of the final that we've had in recent years, and that is something that will be interesting to see. But of course, this match also still lies ahead of them, and that is what we are looking into at the moment. On the day, we saw a very good performance from Jadon Sancho, and you are a Manchester United fan. I'm sure you have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about him. Jadon Sancho was a guy when he came to Manchester United. We're all happy because we saw his performance at Borussia Dortmund. So coming to Manchester United, we're all expecting much from him. But at a point there was some kind of discord between him and the coach, and that was what really cost him, and he has to return back to Dortmund. So sometimes I don't know why a player that will win matches for you. Sometimes you just have to have grudges with them. Sometimes you just have to forgo your egos and let's work together. But we all know him to be a very good player. So going back to Dortmund, we saw him. He replicated it there.
Yeah.
That was what happened on Wednesday.
It's like he's at home now.
Yes, he's at home, and they accepted him very well coming back. And now he's one of their key players.
Yeah.
In that match, he has 11 take-ons.
Yeah.
Match that a player could do in a single match, and he also created a lot of chances for the opponent, the strikers to score, but we're not able to utilize it. So
right. So yeah, Jadon Sancho actually coming off there as the English player with the most with the most take-ons or dribbles in a single UCL game, and that is a very good achievement for him as a young talent coming up. He actually set up for a lot of goals, but unfortunately, Dortmund was only able to score 1 goal. And what a fantastic goal it is! It was actually from Füllkrug. What do you have to say about it?
Oh, it was a very fantastic goal. That is what I call a striker's goal.
Exactly.
The control was on time. He controlled the ball very well. Checked the position of the keeper before he fired the ball.
Yeah.
And that is what we expect from our strikers. They should score fantastic critical goals.
Yeah.
When the pass came and he had the control, I was like, wow, this should be a goal, and he did it fantastically. So kudos to Füllkrug. It was a nice goal that he scored.
Yeah, so that was a fantastic strike from Füllkrug. Like I said, this is a goal that reminds me very much of C. Ronaldo. Yeah. When he gets you on that left foot, it is power. You
Yeah.
know, it was such a fantastic way to beat Donnarumma. Well, we will want to see similar performances in the second leg as well. On the day, you could tell that PSG wasn't really having their day. Dembele, like this, showed a very poor performance, and Mbappe was also somehow pocketed, apart from the few chances he had, which he hit the woodwork. But unfortunately, you know, he didn't really have his day, and it appears right from the quarterfinal coming, he hasn't really had a good time.
Yeah, sure. That is what we saw from, I mean, the quarterfinals. We have not seen much of him.
Yeah,
You know, against Barcelona, we didn't see much of him. He just had those, I mean, easy opportunity goals to score. But
yeah,
the Mbappe that we know that can, I mean, in the midst of the struggle, he can take on the team on his shoulders and,
yeah,
I mean, change things. We didn't see much of him in that particular match.
yeah,
He was, I mean, he was off with, apart from the woodwork that he hit in the
yeah.
second half. We didn't see much of Mbappe. So going into the second leg, he should up his game. You know, he's, I mean, a top class player. And this is what top class players we expect from them. In crucial time, you have to prove yourselves to the whole world that
Yes,
indeed you are Mbappe. That is what, you know, the Cristiano Ronaldos as we call today.
yeah.
This is what they do.
They take the big moment.
They take the big moments
Yeah,
and they prove to the whole world that they are football.
yeah,
They are football.
yeah.
So Mbappe should, I mean, up his game and, I mean, let us see much of him.
So the match at the Signal Iduna ended 1-0 in favor of Dortmund. You know, the yellow and black walking away with a huge advantage as we go into the second leg. Of course, the second leg will be hosted at the Parc de France, and Paris will be ready for this fixture, in that they will be looking to actually turn the tide around and progress to the final to give themselves a chance to lift their first UCL trophy. And of course, that will be the biggest achievement for the club by far, and they will be so looking forward to do that. So going into the second fixture, I mean, there's been a lot of talks around and build up to the game. What have you gathered concerning this fixture so far?
All right. So as you rightly said, I mean, going to the second leg, we also, I mean, how the first leg went. So we are expecting top. You know, the first leg we saw much of Dortmund, but we didn't see much of PSG.
PSG, yeah.
Probably they were playing away from home, but this time around they are playing at their home ground. So we want to see much of the players.
Yeah.
Dembele should come to the party with, I mean, his scoring boots. Mbappe as well. These are moments that if you are a world class player, you have to prove yourself. So this is a moment. They are just a step away from the trophy. If you want to, as you rightly said, PSG has not won it before.
Yeah.
And this is a moment. Now that Mbappe as the star boy in the team, you are about leaving the team.
Yeah.
You have to leave a mark.
Yeah.
And winning the, I mean, UEFA Champions League will be a mark for you in Paris Saint-Germain. So if he be able to take his chances in the second leg, probably that will be a good remark for him as he prepares to depart from the club.
Right. Yes. So, like Bruno is saying, Paris will be ready for the league, and the fans and all the players will be mentally psyched up to actually give us the best performance from their side. On the Dortmund side as well, after the match, you know, Hummels in an interview said that they know and how difficult it is to play at the Parc de France, and they will also prepare themselves very well in that regard to match up whatever hostility they will be facing up there. Looking at the Dortmund team, if they go in with the performance we saw at the home ground, would that be enough to secure them the qualification?
Yeah, sure. It will be enough to secure them the qualification if they should go into Paris with the same momentum that they played in the first league.
Yeah.
It will be enough for them, because you realize the first league, they were all over the pitch. They were attacking, defending at the same time.
Yeah.
No player was left behind. They were all, I mean, so you realize anytime Mbappe gets the ball, he finds it difficult to penetrate the defense.
Exactly.
And the defense too, they were very sound. They were, I mean, compact. They were not, I mean, rushing.
Yeah.
So anytime Mbappe gets the ball, it does the tricks and everything, but it finds it difficult to penetrate. So if they should go there with the same mentality, the same zeal, probably it will be enough to, I mean, take them to the final.
Right, right. Yes. So on that note, we want to hear from you. Which team is likely to qualify? What will be your scoreline prediction for the second leg?
Okay, so I'm still, placing my cards on Dortmund.
Okay.
My score line probably it will be a 1-0 win for Dortmund or a 1-1 draw.
All right. All right. So in both cases, then it means Dortmund is actually
Yeah, sure.
qualifying for the final of the competition. Yes. So yes, like we said before, before the first leg, this is a match of who wants it the more, and you can tell that both teams are actually hungry and thirsty for their trophy. If you talk about Dortmund, then they won it way back in 1997. The trophy is already old and dusty, and the fans are calling for a new one.
Yeah.
PSG, on the other hand, has never won the Champions League, and they don't even know how it tastes like to even lift the UCL title, and they will be hoping to do so this time around. Both teams, I'm sure, will want to meet Bayern in the final. In recent years, they've actually played the final with Bayern Munich, and on both occasions they were all defeated. So I'm sure they will be looking out to play the final with Bayern Munich so that they could met out a very sweet revenge for them in that one. And of course, for PSG, if they are able to do that and win the Champions League, then that will be the greatest achievement for the club. And for Mbappe, well, his name will be sainted forever in the Parc de France. For the Dortmund players, I'm very sure the yellow wall will sing their name all day long for winning such a trophy for them in such a moment, and to be something very honorable for them to do. So yes, this all makes it the dynamics of the second leg very, very interesting, and both teams will be looking to put up the best performances they can so that at the end of the day they can carry the day through. So yes, at the end of the day, whoever wants it the more is going to carry the day. But Dortmund has the edge, and if they're able to hold up their momentum, then of course they will qualify to play the final in Wembley. On that note, we bring today's show to an end. Thank you for sticking around, for this long, and we'll see you in the next one.